Today, we have an unboxing of another guitar. Can't stop, won't stop getting guitars. We have a white Les Paul Chipson. Last video that I unboxed a Chipson, I called it a replica. And I had some people in the comments very angry at me for calling it a replica. This is a dirty, filthy counterfeit Chipson. It is not a replica. In some of my older videos, when I called it a Chipson, I had people in the comments saying the opposite. Oh, it's a replica. Call it a replica. Well, I can't call it a replica. We have a knockoff, we have a fake, we have a counterfeit, we have an illegal product. It's not really illegal to buy fake Gibson guitars, if you were wondering. The police are probably not going to show up at your house and arrest you. Gibson might not be too happy. If they see like a channel like this of somebody unboxing a bunch of them, they might send like a cease and desist letter. But I don't think they're going to sue me. I don't think they're going to arrest me. But I'm here for you, taking that chance. Today we have another replica LP. Welcome back to the mix. I'm Joe Walsh. Let's jump right into it and unbox the guitar. We have talked about the infamous wrong side. Can't show that. Turned around. We have talked about on the channel before the infamous yellow tape, but today we have green tape. Is that green? I'm slightly colorblind, but I think it's green. Red, one little piece of red there. And we've talked about it before. Styrofoam inside. It is two pieces. You just have to find the seam where they are both connected, and you cut that tape, separate it open, and get the goods inside. But today, it's kind of a special type of guitar. It's pretty custom, and you'll find out why in a moment. When getting a guitar like this from AliExpress or eBay, it might be a good idea to get a guitar that you couldn't get otherwise. A guitar that maybe is very rare, isn't made anymore, and that's when you can maybe start calling them replicas more, because you're not really ripping off something that you can easily go and get. You're getting a replica of something that is maybe unobtainable. So, that's enough talking. Let's open it up. We have a box, and we have a knife. We don't have any cardboard-like wrapping on the outside. Let's open it up. Do-do-do-do-do. Whoa! Amber is the color of your energy. Whoa! Shades of color sprayed naturally. Any 311 fans in the house? Any 311 fans in the house? Whoa! So yeah, like I was saying, when I saw this guitar on AliExpress, sometimes some guitars pop up and they're on there for a short time because they've made however many of them, and then they kind of just disappear after a short time. And so I saw this one, a few different sellers were offering it, and I had to get one before it disappeared. Oi. All right then. So now, right. We don't want to see that. Let's cover that up. So now, styrofoam has been separated, and you can lift it up, just like that. Two pieces. One piece falls away. One piece falls away. Rubber band on top, wrapped in styrofoam. You get a cable and an Allen wrench for free. Very nice. Don't have enough Allen wrenches. The guitar pulls up just like that. I can see in there that it did push and break the styrofoam a little bit, but it doesn't look like the guitar was damaged. But let's find out. Like a glove, as they say, rubber band on top. No more. It smells a little bit like paint. Sometimes when you get a guitar from AliExpress, it will smell like paint, probably because they made it and they shoved it in one of these boxes pretty immediately, and then it sat in a warehouse. And all of those fumes collected, so I'm sure that's very healthy to breathe in. I'm sure it's great. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Your first look. Oh, I am already getting excited. A white Les Paul with a maple fretboard. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is maple. And the frets look great. They are pretty big frets. maybe jumbo, not extra jumbo, and cream pickups. It's cream. Shout out. You have your poker chip up there, also cream. Not the right color, a little too dark, so we're probably going to change that. But the bridge feels solid. Sometimes these bridges are a little loose to the individual saddles, but not the case here. Stop tailpiece there. Looks good. Clear. Speed knobs. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like a translucent speed knob on an all-white guitar? It's like an Arctic white, very much white. It's not antique white. It is not yellowed. It is white. There's the back. Let me tell you something right now. You have a little bit of goobers up here. Maybe they'll rub away, but overall, the finish is pretty darn clean for an all-white guitar made in China. The binding looks great. It is cream binding. Sometimes when you get these guitars, the binding is very white or it's gray sometimes. Here, that is in fact cream binding. The nut. Ooh, it's a nice nut, cut really well. Squared off on top, like Gibson. It's a little shiny. You know what? That looks like it's a bone nut or a synthetic bone nut. And the headstock, I think, looks really, really good. A lot of the time, when you get a replica, the headstock shape will be wrong. The bump up there will be too big, or it'll be too skinny, or it'll be weird in some way. That is almost perfect. Obviously, it doesn't have the same break angle for the headstock that a real Gibson would have, but that's okay. Some people prefer that. The break angle on a Gibson can be a little much, and if it falls, there's no volute, headstocks break. It happens all the time. The weight is a really good weight. 8.2 pounds. A lot of the time, these are, put my phone over here. A lot of the time, these are weight relieved. It sounds like this might be. Another difference when you get a Gibson or replica is usually they're fully mahogany bodies. They don't have a maple cap like a real Les Paul. Sometimes they'll have a maple veneer on top for like that flame, and that's a very thin piece of maple, almost like a piece of paper. But usually when it's sprayed over like this, it's all mahogany, which gives you a little bit more of a warm tone. That maple cap gives you a little more punch and brightness in the tone. People that say tone wood is not real or a myth, unsubscribe, leave my channel. We're not going to argue that here. Tone wood is very much a real thing. If tone wood wasn't a real thing, we would make all guitars out of plastic and recycled bullshit instead of making LPs out of mahogany and maple and Strats out of alder. There's a reason why we make cheaper guitars out of poplar and NATO and things like that, because it's cheaper and it doesn't sound as good. Thank you. So, maple fretboard. I don't know if the neck is maple. I could probably reach out to the seller and ask them, but I'm sure they probably don't know. The radius of the fretboard, by looking at it, looks a little flatter than 12 inches. A lot of the time when you get one of these guitars, the radius on the fretboard will usually be 14 or 16. I don't exactly know why, but that's usually what they do. 14 or 16 is the most common. Even if you get a Strat or a Tele, you're probably going to get like a 16-inch radius on it. You can find them with the 12-inch radius. And just looking at it, I could tell you it's very flat, probably about 16. And obviously no fret binding, no fret nibs here. The frets go over the binding. And the neck is a beautiful shape. It's a C-shaped neck. One of the things about these guitars is the necks are usually amazing. Always better than an Epiphone, because Epiphone does those D-shaped necks and they just have really flat backs and really big shoulders that don't feel good. And they do that on purpose because they want you to buy a Gibson. But here you have a perfect C-shaped neck and a beautiful white finish. And the cream pickups, which are obviously going to be replaced, don't have screws. They don't have pull pieces that you can adjust. So that's not super great. I'm sure they're ceramic. Maybe they're good pickups. I don't know. But I am replacing them with cream humbuckers. We're sticking with that. And after DiMarzio, I don't know if you know this, but DiMarzio for years had the patent on double cream pickups. And that's why you could only get them from DiMarzio, and that's why you didn't see them very often. But recently they lost control of that. So you're going to see a lot more cream humbuckers out there. Tone Rider already does it, and I already ordered some. I have an El Nico 5 coming for the neck and an El Nico 2 coming for the bridge. Double cream. They do have pull pieces. So, enough talking. Let's plug it in very quickly, briefly, to hear what it sounds like, and then in a part 2, we'll make the modifications to the guitar and give it more of a review and things like that. But thank you for watching, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that, unless you believe that tone wood is not real. We'll be right back. Whew. So a couple things I noticed. The truss rod cover is a little crooked, and that happens, but you could fix that, drill a new hole. And the pickup rings are on upside down. It's supposed to be big up here, small at the bottom, but they have it the other way where it's big down here, but we can fix that. They are white pickup rings, and they are actually pretty nice quality. Again, the bridge is nice. It's thin, more like a Gibson. And yeah, overall, not too bad. Pots feel good. And let's go ahead and plug it in. Okay. So we have it plugged into a Fender Mustang amp, and we're on a super reverb type amp. On the neck, you get this. So they're very open sounding. There's no really compression going on. If we go to the middle, if we go to the bridge, so the nut definitely needs to be cut, especially the G, maybe the B a little bit. They're a little high, but that's okay. It's better than them being too low. We can definitely cut them very easily. If we put a tube screamer on and go back to the neck, so not that much definition, they're pretty muddy. If we go back to the bridge, there's more definition. And if we add a rat type distortion, look at this. Definitely needs to be intonated a little bit. And if we try an ultra metal distortion, here's what we get. It's on the neck. That's pretty good. If we go back to the bridge. The bridge pickup seems to be maybe a little too far from the strings. But these are awful strings. They're just not high quality. They're very thin. They might even be 8s. I think they're 9s, but they're very cheap. But these pickups do not sound bad on high gain. Usually that's how ceramic pickups are. They're pretty high output. So yeah, they're not the best pickups. They're a little harsh for sure. They lack definition. There's really no compression. They're voiced pretty well though. And for high gain, they sound pretty good. So the action was pretty low at about like 2.5 millimeters. I had to bring it up to about 3 because the frets are very level, except there's a few around the 12th fret that are a little high. But raising the action totally fixed that. And I personally like a higher action. If it's too low, you don't get as much pop as you might want. But you can hear a little bit of buzz. But nothing. Should I think there might be something else might be vibrating? What is that exactly? There's actually vibrating below the string, so it might be something with like the nut or something, but overall, when you're playing it through the pickups, it's not picked up. So, we're not complaining. So it sounds pretty good, not too terrible. There's a little bit of buzzing, and I'm not convinced it's necessarily all from the frets because I hear it down over here. So maybe changing the machine heads and opening up the truss rod cover and taking a look, might be able to figure it out. It could be something with the nut or the strings. I don't know. It's really, really cool to play a Les Paul with a maple fretboard with a finish over it. It has that really nice glidey kind of feel. I know some people don't like that at all. I personally do. I really like maple fretboards, and you never see them on a Les Paul. And so that's why I had to get it to check out for you guys. So we have locking tuners coming from Geiger. We have cream pickups coming from Tone Rider. And I think we might leave the bridge. It feels pretty solid. The tailpiece, the knobs are beautiful. We're probably going to change that poker chip to the right color, but it does match this color on the back, which I think looks good. Overall, very, very cool. Hopefully we can solve that fret buzz issue without having to level the fretboard at all, but you really can't complain for the price. Oh, and a truss rod cover. And hopefully straighten it out because it's a little crooked right now. But stay tuned for that video. If you're looking forward to it, like, subscribe down below. Thank you for watching. You're all very beautiful. And until next time, play guitar, be awesome, and shout out to Arctic White Les Pauls. Big fan. Are you? Let me know in the comments down below. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care. What up, everybody? Joe Walsh here, and ba-da-da-da-da, 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 whoa. Amber is the color of your energy. Whoa. Shades of color sprayed naturally. Hey. A lot of the time, never mind that. And if we try and shout out to Arctic White Les Pauls, because, I mean, come on. Look at how good that looks. Look at how sick, absolutely sickening that looks. Oh, for bleep up up. Bleep up. Got a wireless Paul. Got a wireless Paul. Got a wireless Paul with a motherfucking maple neck.